It was absolutely incredible to see the President of the European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, say in the Late Late Show on Friday that inflation came out of nowhere. She couldn't believe it. What a shock.
We do that out of pleasure. We do it because we are fighting. We do it because we are fighting inflation. Inflation has just pretty much come about from nowhere. Inflation has just pretty much come about from nowhere.
Well, let me tell you the reason we have 10% inflation in Ireland at the minute. When Ireland joined the euro, the ERM and then the euro around 2000, we gave up the ability as a country to decide our own interest rates and control our own money supply. That is now controlled by the ECB, which is mainly done for the benefit of Germany and France. There was a massive pumping or quantitative easing by the ECB coming up to the lockdown. Interest rates were at zero and money supply was incredibly high. And then during the lockdown, the Irish government also added to that by encouraging this policy of PUP payments, furlough, and basically people were paid taxpayers' money to stay at home and do no work. So there was less production, less services, but same amount of supply of money. So that means that the prices go up. Therefore, we get inflation, which is like a tax on poor people who depend on their wages rather than assets. So the ECB president came in the Late Late Show and she couldn't understand how we had inflation. She couldn't see there was a cause and effect from pumping so much money, increasing the money supply and keeping interest rates low. So she really shouldn't be in her job. We have a second boom and bust in the Irish economy for the second time in 12 years because we don't have our own currency. If we had our own national Irish currency, we could have control of our interest rates and money supply. And that is a very, very important toolbox to have. Another thing that people may not be aware of is that the head of the Irish Central Bank takes an oath of loyalty to the European Union, not to the benefit of the people of Ireland, not to the state of Ireland. No, he takes an oath of loyalty to the European Union. So he doesn't work for us. No, he works for people in Brussels and in Frankfurt. And remember that phrase years ago? Remember during the election, the Labour Party? It's going to be Dublin's way or Frankfurt's way? It was obviously clear that it was going to be the way of Frankfurt and Brussels rather than that of Dublin. So the EU Commission imposed 64 billion bank debt upon the Irish taxpayer, which wasn't our debt. And they also progged the orchard. They took 21 billion of our pension fund. They took that off us as well. Already, we're a net loser because EU contribution over the last number of years, our net receipts from the EU have been 42 billion. So 42, take away 64, take away 21, and then you also take away the 215 billions worth of fish that EU boats have taken out of Irish waters since we joined. And really, the EU in net cash terms is a very, very bad deal indeed. That's why I advocate that we leave the EU, we leave the euro currency, we take back control of our own laws, we take back control of our own currency. We stop this perpetual cycle of boom and bust, and we decide our own destiny in the world. Isn't it incredible that Christine Lagarde is allowed to go on the Late Late Show on Irish TV